The chapter begins with an ambulance arriving at an accident of a car hitting a teenage boy named Yusuke Urameshi. Not realizing that he's dead, Yusuke tries to communicate to the paramedics. When they leave with his body and a little boy, he tries to think back on what happened that day. We jump 3 hours earlier to see Yusuke smoking on the roof of his school. His classmate Keiko is chewing him out for smoking and skipping school. Being the punk that he is, he lifts up her skirt and complains how ugly her underwear is. Keiko responds by slapping him. As he makes his way off the school grounds, Yusuke overhears 2 students. One of them states that he got out of being harassed from some punk by lying about being Yusuke's cousin. The other student replies that he's dead meat if Yusuke ever found out about this. Right after that is said, the 2 notice him. As he's about to punch the 2 students, What the hell is wrong with your face? I don't know if I should be laughing or be frightened. Anyway, Yusuke doesn't beat them up. Instead, he charges a name-dropping fee of 500 yen. If I was in Yusuke's shoes, I would charge a little bit more. After Yusuke receives his money, one of the teachers appears. He preaches that punks like Yusuke shouldn't be out of school. Yusuke, not giving a fuck about what the teacher is saying, leaves. He finally gets to the gates to the school, but runs into another teacher. However, unlike the other teacher, this one is trying to encourage Yusuke to stay in school. Of course, Yusuke doesn't want to listen to him and walks off. After getting a lecture from his mom about skipping school, he roams the town when 5 teenage boys surround him. Kurobaro, the leader of the small group, wants to fight him. However, he's no match for Yusuke. Yusuke then runs into the little boy that we saw at the beginning of the chapter. He makes the kid laugh before warning him to play somewhere else since there's too many cars nearby. After crossing the street, he turns around to see the kid accidentally kick the ball into the road. Hearing a car coming, Yusuke runs and pushes the boy out of the way before getting hit by the car. Back in the present, Yusuke realizes that he's dead. He is then greeted by Botan, a guide to the underworld. Greek mythology reference. And I confused most of my viewers. Okay, ever wonder why Botan has an aura instead of a scythe? In Greek mythology, Grim Reapers take souls to the underworld by boat. Also, Botan states that she's a guide to the River Styx, which is one of the 5 rivers that divide the world of the living and the world of the dead. Funny thing is that I didn't know this reference until I was analyzing this chapter for this video. Yusuke asks if the boy he saved is alright. Botan takes him to the kid, who is okay and only got some scrapes. The kid's mom asks the doctor about Yusuke. Sadly, he tells her that he didn't make it. Now knowing the kid is okay, Yusuke tells Botan that he's ready to cross over. However, she informs him that he wasn't scheduled to die, and no one in the spirit world was expecting him to save the boy. She also states that the kid was supposed to be run over, but somehow survived without a scratch. She then mentions that there is a test that can bring him back to life, but she doesn't know much about it. Yusuke replies that he's better off dead than alive. Botan tells him to think it over while he visits his wake, and she'll return afterwards for his answer. As he views his wake, he sees that the attending people are either happy or sad that he's dead. The boy from before attends the wake, and being too young, doesn't realize that the teen who saved him is dead. As he leaves with his mom, he tells her that he wants to return to thank Yusuke when he's awake. She tells him that they can't. The chapter ends with Yusuke telling Botan that he wants to take the test. This chapter doesn't feel like much is happening. Most of the chapter is Yusuke remembering what happened before he died, while the rest is him visiting his own wake. But I think that's the point. Yusuke just died and is trying to figure stuff out. Now I'm sure someone's going to ask about this if I don't talk more about it. So let's talk about those teachers. I normally don't care for the cliche of having only one teacher who cares about the troublemakers or the students who aren't doing well in school while the other teachers don't. However, I like it here. Maybe it's because it only appears a couple times out of the whole manga. We have Mr. Iwatamoto, who's a prick and believes troublemakers are a lost cause. He even jokes with another teacher on why Yusuke was near the little boy before he died. Then we have Mr. Kanaka, who does want everyone to have an education, even troublemakers. We do see him trying to encourage Yusuke, even though he didn't flat out say it. Now that's all I have to say about this chapter. Till next time on Read Little by Little.